Welcome back to Undying Wins. This is session number 12, Blood in the Water. Last session, we started some fun stuff in that we got out of that pyramid and are trying to figure out what's going on in the world around us outside of that lovely place we were in. Um, yeah, that said, thank you for getting on there, Matt, there. And I'll transition that. And then you guys go ahead and just tell me what you're doing.
So at the end of last session, Ren got 3 letters. One of them was from Mardigan, who says he's not happy. And we talked about going to visit him. And I have info on how to do it.
I think that sounds good. Let's see what's up with the Mardigan.
Before we leave, Gilbert, you wouldn't perchance have a spare shield in this house that I could borrow or use?
Would I, John?
Yeah.
I think I would. Yeah. You just have to make sure you get the gnomes off of it first. They're probably piled on it 2 or 3 high.
Understood. Thank you. Rockscar, thank you so much for allowing me the use of your shield.
Yeah, anytime. Hope it did some good. I mean, you're still here.
I believe it did.
So, Gilbert is interested in going with Ren to talk to Mardigan, or, at least you talk to him and we'll hang out, because he's hoping that he might know where the king is. Since that's what I need to do, find the king.
Well, not only that, but he might give us
Good
a
luck
sense
with that.
of what's happening with, with the other, with the turf,
Right. Does anybody have the ability to locate an object that's real far away? Like his
Nope.
Esperedge? The king's Esperedge? I thought about it, but it would only work if he's within 1,000 feet, which is not very far.
Yeah, that's about as good as you're going to get right now, I think. Because Scrying is a 5th level spell, and honestly, I think you have Scrying on your list too, so it might be more useful for you to pick it up when we need it.
Alright, yeah, I'll check. I'm not sure.
But it's,
That's the
yeah,
future.
we're still out of that range of spells.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything different besides go talk to Mardigan?
Sam doesn't give a shit about the king and just wants to go and talk to Mardigan to, figure out.
To show your idealist face and see what he'll do.
No, to just figure a couple of things out.
Okay.
I mean, I have some info, but I don't have all the info, so...
Did it say, Ren, did it say in the letter what he was unhappy about in particular?
It did not, but Patrick, he's like that. He's not the most clear person in the world. He's a little bit of an asshole. I imagine it's because he's not in charge of things.
Ren, I think you have a toxic relationship with Mardigan.
I think so.
I think maybe you need to work on that.
Okay, I will work on that.
And when you're done working on it, help me work with this stupid leader of the Night Sharks. That guy. I have a toxic relationship with that guy.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
So, we can go. I want to try to find Tybalt and Spellmoth in and around the area of my old office, which is kind of taken.
Okay, and you're going with Gilbert?
I think that we should probably take more than that. I know that Brock said he wanted to go.
Definitely.
Sam said he wanted to go, and Follette, we could probably use the muscle.
Sure.
And so
Let's bring the dude.
That's cool, guys. I'll just sit at the house and jerk myself off.
No,
I didn't even want to go.
He said we need the muscle.
Yeah, Brack for sure, just in case shit goes down.
You're first through the door.
I mean, I thought jerking yourself off was part of the plan, though.
It's a good distraction.
Yeah.
Pre-game.
These low lives we're going to be dealing with, Frack. You never know what to expect. Gotta be ready for anything.
Okay, are you going to make any stops on the way between your office and House Kirkosler?
I thought that's where we were. We're at House of Kurgosler now.
I said if you're going to make any stops between leaving House Kirkosler and heading to your office.
For the other players, do we have a sense that the conglomerate is after us at this point? Do we want to go quietly, or can we just sort of go? How do we...
Well, actually, I'm concerned the night sharks are after us too. So what are we going to say when we come upon a bunch of thugs and they're saying we want our warehouse or whatever?
Just gonna say,
Dead bodies.
Real quick,
Either we kill them or we run.
real quick.
Okay.
I think there was a misconception, and I think I want to make sure I want to clear that up before we move forward. To do that, though, what I would want is Kevin, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Oh no, guys, we're doomed.
No, I'm not stupid.
we're acting on orders from the
Intelligence, charisma, intelligence. Is that, I don't know. Can he use this? Is it just
Can I use
intelligent?
Just
Intelligence
straight-
is an ability
I mean-
check.
Straight intelligence.
So,
I like what you're trying to do there, but yeah.
I was
Come on.
basically pulling a map because I didn't have my character sheet up. So now I'm like, it'll be ready. in
Oh,
20
leave him
minutes.
alone. He's talking. It's muted. He's having so many system issues.
Sorry. My computer was just running really slow today for some reason.
It's okay.
I don't know why.
You better go
Your
catch it.
computer's always running slow, Kevin.
Wait, mine? Oh, no, it's not always.
So you
That's-
remember specifically an exchange that you had with Hadrian and Val Mardigan mediating it during the meeting.
Oh,
You remember specifically, you handed it over to him, he handed it back to you and said it wasn't signed. You signed it there and then and handed it back to Hadrian. The warehouse is theirs, but your family members, Kale specifically, are saying that they're making money from the warehouse. And what you've heard or overheard is they're selling the warehouse, but they don't have the deed for it, so you're a bit confused.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, and I kind of remember that we had done that, but then when I came last session, somebody told me that I still had the deed, so that's what confused me. But I thought I'd already signed it over.
I think it
or
was
whatever.
me that said it. I said, "Don't you still have the deed?" And then you said, "I think so," and got it confused.
Yeah,
So what I did was after the session is I just rewatched the meeting session to make sure I had it right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that
All
gnome
right.
funny business.
Gnome funny business.
So the real fact of it is money is coming in from that warehouse. You don't know how or why, but your presumption is that it was sold. Who's breathing into the mic really hard?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I just moved it.
I felt like I
I don't know.
called the wrong hotline.
Hey, what are you
It's happening.
wearing?
It's happening again.
You could ask Val that, Gilbert.
All right.
Okay.
It might have been me.
That's fine. Just I don't want to get too sexy. I don't want to get too sexy. Not this early in. So that's it.
Discovering new things about my body, though, John.
Don't make it
Well,
weird.
I'm done.
Don't make it
I'll
weird.
see you guys later.
There's
Okay.
the game right there.
So, my question to you, Kevin, is: do you want to engage in any kind of exploratory matters regarding that, or do you want to just trek off with them through? Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should we look into that?
You could probably get a straighter answer from Val than you were your gnome relatives at this point.
You think so?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, to be fair, I don't trust your relatives. Mostly just because there's so many of them, miscommunication is key.
Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Oh, no, I could
Oh.
probably throw
I
them a
could probably
lot
throw
farther
pretty
than I
far.
would trust them.
I'm
Especially
sorry
since
to
I have
hear that.
telekinesis.
All right. I'll check in on that later then. How about we just head over?
Okay.
Little host brother, would it be possible to borrow some pen and paper to send a message out? I did have some people I left when I got grabbed by the conglomerates and stuff.
Sure.
I think I should touch base.
Is it okay? All we have is blue ink.
So long as it ain't blue paper, blue brother. So long as it ain't blue paper.
It's blue
Okay.
paper. You're fucked.
Cool. Then yeah, I want to put a message together.
Okay.
John.
It'll take a little while for that to happen, and then if you
I don't write fast.
then it'll take even longer. Is everyone waiting on Brock? And if so, are you doing anything at the house while you're waiting?
I'll go talk to Kel and find out what he knows about to tell me more details about the warehouse, how they making money.
Oh well, your attendant said it was still ours, I guess, and so we went and checked it out, and well, when we did, we found a secret store, and it was filled with all sorts of very expensive materials we've been selling in the marketplace for some time.
Oh,
We moved it all to the house, and well, we've made quite a bit of money off of it.
oh, Kel.
That could be why he's not happy.
Yeah, I think I know. I think there's a problem here. Let me explain it to you. That material was somebody else's.
Oh,
And it wasn't just
well, you're
lords or something. It was the type of person who would break your legs if you took it.
oh no, well, your attendant said it was fine.
Which
Uh,
was that?
It's okay. We'll just take it out of your legs.
The ambassador fellow, what's his name?
Melanchor?
Yeah. Oh, whatever his name was. Yeah, him.
Uh-oh. He's the young man, right?
Your ambassador. Your
Oh.
merchant ambassador.
That was the Panzinger guy.
Yeah, Pansinger.
How could you forget him? Why would he say that was okay? Maybe he didn't know. Maybe I didn't tell him.
Oh, I don't know. But he seemed very sure that we could sell it and make quite a bit of coin to feed the family. So that's what we did.
I'm going to just pull Gilbert aside out of his old man's hearing range and just be like, Gilbert, did you actually check all of these people's backgrounds before you hired them? What if this was his plan all along and he's trying to sell you downriver for some reason? Like he was hired to do this.
Possible. That's possible. I'll have to find out.
Yeah, I say we kill him.
No. Let's not kill him. Let's question him.
Right.
Where is he? Is he there right now? Is Rolf anywhere to be found?
No.
Okay. And Kel
Fled
said
the
he
scene
wanted
of the
to-
crime.
You actually recall that Kale was kind of stayed home because he felt he didn't have to go to the capital because Rassicant came and basically made the deal with you regarding the family being moved out, and that was the order of business he was going to go to the capital to deal with anyways today. And it's still kind of mid-morning-ish at this current moment, but at that time you saw that Panzinger was with Kale, but ever since then you haven't seen him in the house. He might have left at about the same time Rassicant left as well.
Oh, somebody did leave too. I don't remember who it was. Remember, somebody kind of we noticed somebody left, but we don't know who it was. And didn't that happen last session?
No,
Yeah,
it was.
That did.
I thought it was the old guard.
It was the old guard, but someone might have slipped out with him.
Yeah. Okay. Did Kel want to hire a different person as the ambassador?
So you got a lot of family members with all sorts of different strengths. I've outlined about 1/4 of the family members total to you in your side chat, and I know it's a lot of block information, but I did outline that there is one specific associate or one specific member of the family who's been hanging around with Kale. He's about your age, a little younger, and Kale's been kind of trying to, in the side conversations you've had in the last day or so, basically saying, well, he'd make a really good. Whoa.
Ah, right. All right. Well, Kel,
So-
that
I'm sorry. Where's the money now from all the stuff that you sold?
Well, you ate a lot of it last night, and some this morning too.
Yeah, but where's the rest of it?
Well, we're still selling stuff. It didn't all just magically sell itself. We've got a couple of the boys out there in the marketplace hawking the wares. There's still some in the guest house as well.
And who do they turn the money into?
Well, they bring it home here.
To you?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you again, where's the money?
He looks at the dwarf, then he looks over to Gilbert. And Gilbert, you know where the money's at. It's in, the house treasury, and it's a secret location that you are aware of, and Kale is also aware of. But he doesn't look like he's willing to answer the dwarf. From what you can tell, you're able to insight that pretty readily.
Right. I would say Brox. Okay, this all happened because of a misunderstanding. I think what we need to do is take.
Knock on the door.
Tell us where the money is, we'll break your leg, you stupid gnome!
Knock on the door.
Get the door, Gilbert.
Right. I would have one of the attendants or whatever go answer the
The
door.
soldier walks over to it and opens it. Looks out and is confused because to get to the front door, you would need to enter through the gate, and it doesn't look like that's happened. This individual has bypassed that portion and has made it all the way to this location without that problem. The individual standing at the door, when it's opened by the guard, you can see is an old yellow cap, and Ren thinks he might remember him as being named Bob.
Bob.
Bob, Bill, one of those guys.
Is your master here? He says to the soldier. Lord Kurgosler turns and kind of looks over to you.
Yes, come on in.
I shall be brief. He walks in. The council has made its decision regarding the matter. The council has voted. The
Do
vote.
we need to supply our own silver platter for the head, or will you provide one?
The vote was made outside of what I anticipated. The council will stand with you in your endeavor to deal with the conglomerate.
Wow.
Nice. Excellent.
Members of the conglomerate would like to, or of the council would like to meet with you regarding the matter. When is your first availability in your schedule? We do not wish to imposition ourselves into matters you might be already engaged with.
I would say I would kind of look over at Ren. Look at me, Ren.
Yes.
I would communicate with Ren in my eyes, like, what time do you think we should do this?
Basically, he looks like he's completely just staring at you, and you aren't sure what he means in particular, because that's a hard message to translate through. Looking like he's just confused.
Ren would know he would want it to be soon, as soon as possible.
Like, all right, but then that's what I was thinking. But I want to make sure you would give
Instead
me
of doing anything else, or after we do the next thing we already decided to do.
Well, we could certainly do. We don't have to do it now. Is the council ready to go now?
Lasatu.
How about this? Ren would say, "When is the soonest the council can meet?"
Lasatu is always ready.
Well, maybe we should do it now.
We'll see you late this afternoon.
Yeah, that's good. Late this afternoon.
Very good. Upon saying that, as he starts to walk out, he stabs a dagger on the door frame and then exits out the door. You can see that there's a note dangling from the dagger. The dagger is a very thin stiletto with a red gem at its pommel, and he just exits.
Would Ren recognize this as a sign?
You notice that the document that he's posted to the wall has basically a address and a small map of where the council location is. The dagger appears to be a finely crafted silvered dagger, but the red gemstone's kind of of note to you. You've only seen something like this maybe once before, and as you're looking at it, you can see that it is definitely a council dagger. The council dagger gemstone, it's kind of a garnet, but a very translucent kind of set garnet, so kind of a smoky dark red color. And if you look at it and kind of turn it, you can always see, upon looking into the gemstone, the draconic letter for the letter A in it, similar to the one that Hadrian wears upon his chest.
Great. Ren will definitely stow that dagger and read the note and then hand it to Gilbert.
The note's just a outline of where the location of the council hall is.
So just like out of character for the other players, you'll have to answer John. This refers back to the meeting we had at Gilbert's house a while back, where different representatives from the gangs and the Yellow Caps, we were trying to enlist them for help against the conglomerate.
It may have seemed like a long time ago, but it was literally 4 or 5 days in game.
Well, I'm talking about us as players.
Yeah.
Right. Also,
For players, it was
did-
session 18. So
we didn't ask the Yellow Caps, did we? I thought it was just some of the gangs.
I thought there was a representative of the Yellow Caps there.
Bob's name is Aiden.
And Bob is a member of the council.
Correct. Well,
Am I
Aiden
right in
is.
thinking that? So now they've agreed to help us, probably.
Correct, because remember in the exchange, Bob said, I don't think the council's going to go with this nonsense. And Val's like, well, you're a representative. You're not even a real member of the council. You're not a leader. Get out. And he was the first one to be thrown out of the discussion. And he said, I will return with the decision of the council. This is apparently him doing so.
So I like the idea of meeting with Val now. Maybe he'll give us some real talk before we meet with the council later.
And now we have the information that the council's on our team. Definitively.
This is a double cross, but yeah.
Could be. Could be.
Cool.
All right. It's been about 30 or so minutes. Brack, you finish signing your name on the bottom of the letter, put it into envelope, and aren't very familiar with the city setup. But Gilbert is very familiar with how a message would be sent, and outside you would be able to find a messenger, courier, who could deliver the letter wherever you needed to go.
Great.
Your own personal Bob.
Thank God.
All right.
Before we head out, those of us with short-range communication devices, should we agree upon a frequency in case we ever get separated?
Yep. I got one.
42.
Okay. So you guys can connect to one another. That's fine.
Hey, before I leave, what I would like to do is take Kel aside and say, all right, now as far as this whole mix-up with the stuff in the warehouse, number one, don't take any more stuff out of the warehouse and sell it.
No, it's all been taken out of the warehouse. All of it.
Okay.
It's in the guest
If
house.
there's, all right, don't get rid of any of that because we're gonna need to give it back.
Okay.
Probably. And also, any money that you made out of it, set it aside and don't spend it because we may have to give it back. Now we'll see. Maybe we can get this swept under the rug, but don't go in that warehouse anymore. You might
Antor!
get killed.
Jornan! Come quick, come quick! And the two young lads, the one you yelled at yesterday, Sam, and another one, come out of the library, rushing up to Kale. In Gnomish, he starts speaking to them, and Gilbert, you understand. He says, go quickly! Find the other boys in the marketplace. Bring them back. Don't let them sell any of the wares. This is of utmost importance for the family. Go, 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 go! And then in Gnomish, he says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have asked before I acted, but your attendant said it would be fine.
All right. About the attendant, you might as well put what was the name of the guy? Warshak or Horshak? The guy he wanted to put in charge.
Warston?
Warston, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and put Warston in charge, and then I will reassign Rolf Panzinger. I have a bad feeling about him. Maybe there's something going on. I need to talk to him first, so don't let him know anything that we're doing, really. Kind of keep him on the outside.
He'll know if we're replacing him. Maybe you should tell him yourself.
I could leave him a quick message. When you see him, you could give it to him, and then I'll just write something down and put my seal on it and everything, so it's like sealed, and hand it to him.
Yeah.
Basically, I demoted him. I don't want to fire him outright because he might not have done anything wrong, but I also want to have a family member in place because we're gnomes. It's what we do.
Okay.
You know.
Oh.
We have a bunch of big family, you know.
So wait a second, Kevin. You're basically saying that you're doing gnometism?
Yeah, nepotism. Yeah. Also, if he is a spy or something, I'd rather keep him close, and then I could feed him shit I don't care if they know.
I think he'll catch on pretty quick if you demote him.
Yeah, I mean, if I demote him, he's not going to be happy for sure. So.
Fair enough. Anyways, you guys are heading to. Is the plan still to head that way? Vrack enters into the main chamber and is apparently ready to go, and engages with Gilbert to pass out the missive. It'll cost you a total of 5 gold to transport the letter. there is no way, Brock, that you'd be able to get away with the message being sent through courier without Gilbert knowing where it's going. So the letter that Brock is sending appears to be going to the Altania Rus, which is to the west. It is one of the 3 duchies or 4 duchies of the kingdom, and it's ruled over by, from what you recall from historical, documentation, it's been ruled by the same woman for centuries.
Okay.
Human woman, the same human woman for centuries.
Ooh,
Is her name Val Mardigan?
Okay.
Iden.
All right.
Huh.
Tim's so intrigued.
Let's go there. Let's go.
I'm down.
That sounds-
Y'all want to ask Brock some questions? I got answers.
We just leave the
Nobody
leave the
gives a
city
shit.
and go after this.
Well, I mean, I technically don't know anything about what's going on there.
It would have been Gilbert and Brock, so if Gilbert has questions, he
Yeah.
can ask them, but yeah.
That's fine.
All right. I'm not gonna ask you anything.
Great.
Makes
File
sense.
that
Glad we
away in
did
the
this.
File that away.
So everyone is heading to the spell to
Just-
Spellmoth.
Just to be clear, and knowing the issue at hand, we're going empty. You're not going to bring any of this man's money or anything like that, Gilbert.
Nope. Going in empty-handed.
Joe, you're a smart lad.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
yo, FYI, Gilbert, I ain't got no money. So that 5 gold pieces I also needs to borrow. But like I'm just throwing it out there.
That's all right. I would give it to the new attendant. Well, what's his name again?
Well,
Darn it.
you give it to the courier because you would actually
And
be
I
going
would
yeah.
say, this one goes special mail. And so,
Great.
Fair enough. Okay, so again, you guys
who
are going.
knows if you'll get it.
You're going to exit House Gosler and travel to Spellmoth, specifically the area or in and around Ren's office.
Yeah, Ren's gonna look for his old associate Tybalt, who has a connection with Morgan's.
Okay. Okay. And then, like I asked before we got into all of the things that I derailed it with, apologies, is there any stops along the way that you want to make? Are you walking, or are you trying to take another method of travel, Skyrail or trolley?
That reminds
You have a
me,
lot
we
of
gotta
money
get
in
a
the
car.
treasury, Gilbert.
We gotta get your car repaired.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the shop. It's that car's gone.
Yeah, but it would be awesome to have a car.
We have all these new funds, Gilbert. You could buy me a car.
That's true. I
Why
probably
don't you pay
could.
for us to take a trolley? or
Yeah,
something?
you do realize where those funds are from,
Yeah.
and buying a car with them might not be
Let's
the
go.
best
Let's
idea.
go meet with Mardigan. Drive up in a new Lambo. Hey! No, we didn't take your money, bruh. Nah. Just start throwing money on the ground.
What are we gonna do with it?
Just makes me think of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Let's get
Samsonite.
a car that's shaped like a shark. Like a giant black shark, and it's Night Shark. It's our car.
No
Night
stops
Shark.
along the way, right?
No stops.
While we're there, I might stop by Sayers Hold, see how Jack and the kids are doing.
Okay. So if you're heading to the area around Ren's office, and you're doing so by trolley, which would be the easiest method, I need everyone to elect one of your people to be representative, and that individual to roll D100.
Gilbert.
You want me to do it? Aha, this
Tim.
is awesome.
Yeah, because I want to fight. This.
Oh, you wanna fight. Well, Tim would be just as bad. Probably would. Sorry, Tim.
Well,
But-
no, it's fine. If Gilbert's paying for any transportation costs, he can roll.
There you go.
I'll give him that honor.
Where isn't there a D100 already set up on this?
On the left side in the dice block.
Yeah. Maybe you should roll because it's gonna take me forever to figure out what the hell I'm doing. There's fudge. It doesn't. There's no D100.
Go to advanced dice roller.
Oh, advanced. What the hell, man? Come on. D20. Oh yeah, there you go. All right. D100. Sorry, guys. It just took a little while. All right. Ooh, guess what I
love it.
rolled? People at home, 69. That's
All right.
right.
Which has no meaning outside of the fact that it's a number at all. None at all.
None at all. So
Well, it means something special in D&D.
you guys would get to the area near Ren's office and be able to get there without any issue. The trolley seems to be running fine, and the day it's a bit cold out, but it's kind of like that late winter cold, like or like early spring kind of cold. It's just chilly out. You get to Ren's office, or in and around Ren's office. Are you wanting to stop there at all, or just going to search around the area?
You searched around the area for Dibbled?
Yep. So you're not really invested on checking out your office again?
I mean, since we're in the area, I would definitely want to take a peek, see if anything has changed. But I'm assuming it.
Still seems to be a marker out on the door, saying basically like a police line, but for conglomerate. Yeah, still boarded up.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, I would go where I would normally go if I wanted to make contact with him.
Okay. You would also, and I guess I was trying to lean into something, but it's not as obvious on your side as it is on mine. The letter box appears to be filled with letters.
Nice.
With what?
Letters.
Oh, I'll take those letters.
Okay. Looks like there's one for every day that you haven't been at the location from Alderock, the main courthouse of the city. It looks like they're fees for the holding of your broken vehicle that was left in the Port District, Port Borough. It has been impounded. Is currently being held at the 3rd precinct.
How many days has it been?
7, 6, 7. It's been 7.
Okay.
Let me double check. Crash, slow walk, stay the night with Sunny, next day into the pyramid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be 5, 6.
Hey, Ren, I know some people. We might be able to take care of that. Get it reduced down to as low as possible. I was just saying we should get a car. It'd be even better just to fix yours up.
All right.
I think we need bulletproofing, though. We found that out.
Okay, we need like bulletproofing, magic proofing, sword proofing. We need a couple of proofings on that thing.
True.
Conspiracy proofing.
No, that's not a thing.
Unacceptable.
Wait a second. Maybe it is a thing. Maybe they're putting it around the city.
All right, and if you guys search around, Ren, I would like for you to go ahead and make me a wisdom investigation.
Wisdom investigation. Wow, I rolled an 11 with a +9.
Strangely, no signs of any Mardigans around this area. They do hang around Glimmermoth, the lake here, quite a bit, but you're not finding anybody present, and that's a bit strange to you. After about 30 or so minutes, Broskar, I presume you'd get bored of that activity, and not being too far away from Sayre's home would want to break away at that point.
Yeah,
Anyone going with Broskar, or are you still moving as a unit with him?
I'm gonna check on Jack and the kid while we're here.
Sam's getting bored. Sam will follow the dwarf just out of sheer numbskulling boredom of just waiting around.
I'll go with them too if the other 3 stay heading to the office.
You're going with Brock, okay. And then Gilbert.
I will stick with the other 2 so that they're not completely in danger.
Thank you.
Right.
Is there any way I could leave a drop or some sort of
Yeah.
cans written to get attention?
Yeah, so you know where you'd leave a drop in this location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and basically what's the missive? Where are you wanting to meet?
I'm gonna ask him to contact me at House Kargosler for a time to speak.
Okay.
For a time, just to set up a meeting with Val.
This is directly for Val then. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. All right. You guys head over to Sarah's house and shop. No longer Sarah's, but House Piatva. You head over, and it looks like the door's open. From what you can see from the side of the 5-story building, the smokestacks on the side that are kind of exiting out, where the flue would connect to down in the forge, appears to be billowing a lot of smoke. Appears that there's a lot of activity going on inside. When you enter in, you see that there's a red-bearded older dwarf who you would recognize as Grandpa or Angren, and Bloodbeard, kind of behind the counter, talking to an individual and handing over what appears to be a box filled with nails to that individual. And there's a person behind them kind of tapping their foot, wearing a bit more high-end clothing, kind of just sitting there impatiently, while this person in front of them, who appears a bit more of a local, kind of a hardy construction worker type, basically they're shooting the shit, and the guy behind him kind of looks annoyed. It sounds like there's a lot of clanging going on in the back end, but when you enter in, Angren kind of looks up to you, kind of gives you one of those, and then continues back with the conversation. And then he kind of seems to cut the conversation, and that individual starts to head away. And as the guy who is tapping his foot impatiently is about to step forward, he goes, "Broxgar, right? Whose was it?"
Yeah, that's me.
"Yeah, Jack mentioned you." And as he says that really loud, the guy who is waiting kind of goes, looks very annoyed. The door to the back opens up, and the red-haired, tall gentleman, Jack Piatva, steps through. Kind of looks, he goes, "Broxgar,
Jack, it's good to see you, bro.
did you... So, hey," and then kind of looks to the gentleman. "Sorry, have you been helped?" He goes, No, I haven't, actually. I'm here for, to take the repair job, or to take the, to recover my repairs. I'm here to pick up my pistol." Jack kind of looks at him and says, You're right on time," and he kind of lays something on the counter. "Gramps, can you charge the gentleman, please? And I'm very sorry for your wait." Jack kind of walks over to Broxgar, giving
John,
you a look like... And then what do you say? Go ahead.
John, out of curiosity, do I recognize the one guy who was waiting rather impatiently and not being helped?
He looks like a merchant type. This being idealist territory, you assume that he is someone who is possibly like a bureaucrat, who deals with like mage-ear trafficking, or possibly deals with just regular mercantile work. Merchants in Spellmoth are a little different than merchants in the port area. In that, I mean, in like the port borough, you would see like a lot of, just street vendors, a lot of warehouses, a lot of traditional, your mentality of Dungeons and Dragons merchants. Whereas merchants in Spellmoth have like office buildings, keep exact records, hire people to do desk jobs, have like tall, office buildings that they work through, and are basically keeping track of everything that moves in and out of the city by the people who are working those docks. So,
Right, so boring people, so no.
yeah,
Gotcha.
but the pistol that's laying out on the table that Angren is now ringing up, and now the gentleman this individual is looking at, it looks really fancy. It's got like, kind of jeweler's brass on the handle and along the sides. Broxgar, just looking at it from this angle, you realize that it's of elvish make. It's a very old piece.
Elves were the first to make such a weapon.
He kind of looks at you, kind of like, "Yeah, I know." Are you are you a collector?
More of a connoisseur, and I'll pull out my dwarvish fucking beat up looking pistol. Looks like it's been tinkered and played with quite a bit. It's
You're more of a crafter. I'm a bit of a collector, and I do enjoy, seeing all different types of new works.
What do you know about this? I got another one here, and I'll pull out the one I stole from the conglomerate.
My word, a Meridian pistol. He kind of looks around. I've been looking for one of these, but they're illegal. And Jack kind of like, oh, and kind of steps back, kind of confused. Are you willing to part with it?
Oh, maybe one day, and I'll put it back.
I have 1,000 gold pieces right here, if you're willing to part with it.
I'll kind of look at.
I don't think he will. It was his grandmother's pistol. She was very close to him.
Your grandmother's a Meridian?
Yeah. I'm I'm a Meridian dwarf.
Jack kind of goes, like not believing it, and kind of goes. The merchant here says, 1,000 gold is what I have on me. That's every bit of coin that I have available currently.
Well, it seems like a fair enough deal. Consider it. Yeah, we got a deal.
He hands over a bag that has 100 coins in it. When you pop it open, it's platinum pieces, Imperials, if you hand him over the gun, he looks it over and is like, he looks to Jack. I don't have the money to pay for the repairs, and Jack says, I know where you live. The gentleman kind of goes, okay.
Damn it!
I'll come back and pay you. And
It's a shame I didn't make out with that bag full of.
I'd like to say Sam just looks over at Brox and says, "I knew Grandma should have given me the gun."
takes his pistol and leaves with it as well. And Jack kind of goes, "Where did you come across a Meridian firearm?"
Oh, I
Did
found
you not hear, big brother? He said it was his grandma's. Pretty simple.
Looks back to Brox.
found it.
And who's your
Grandma died.
Who's your friend?
Oh, Grandma Meridia. This is Vrac. This is Vrac. He's
I'm Jack.
a good guy.
Offers his hand out.
I accept.
Yeah, and grasps. This is more of a martial grip, which you'd be more familiar with. Like you were expecting, kind of a more culturally kind of acceptable handshake, but he goes in for the grasp, and you kind of go, huh? And he kind of looks to Brox. I know you were telling fibs. Where'd you get the pistol?
Oh, I found it over in Sunspire.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, just happened upon it. This is pretty lucky. I didn't know what I had.
When you were
Probably could have sold it for more.
when you were doing the thing Amanda said you did with the that weird pyramid or whatever, she didn't say much about it. She didn't have much information from what you told her.
Yeah, that was it.
So Sayre's doing what she needs to do in the afterlife. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's very happy where she's at.
Good. Yeah, kids are at school right now. It's a bit early in the day, but I'm sure they'd be happy to see you, Brox. You're more than welcome here anytime. I got a bit of work to do. Kind of scratches his head. It's kind of like dry, but when he first came out, it was sweaty, so it's kind of like sticky, kind of dry, and he kind of looks at you. When are you going to be around here next? Do you think?
Oh, it's hard to say. I come and go. I could disappear for days or weeks. But I next time I am, I'll be sure to stop. And I see you put old Ingram to work. That's good.
Yeah, well, he
Good money.
couldn't afford it out there in Red Wheel, and you see Angren kind of look at you, kind of like, and he was getting lonely, and he needed someone to be with. But I'm gonna get back to work, Brox, and anytime you're welcome, more than welcome in this house, and Molly and Vesper would love to see you.
I'll try to come visit them. I'm glad to hear they're doing.
All right, and kind of gives you a hug, and then heads back into the back. Angren says after he exits, kind of whispers to you, I wasn't running out of money. I got a shit ton, boy. He needed me. I knew it. Kind of gives you
Oh, I
a good
know.
family stays with family. Am I right?
Hi.
Good.
I'm glad he's got someone as skilled as you, Grandpa, helping him out around here.
Wasn't doing fuck all in Red Wheel anyways.
It looks like you guys are getting good business. It'll be good, steady drinking money for.
You're damn right. And I know a bit about the powder, so he needed someone to take Sarah's place in that, so the business could keep up.
Good. Now I'll be purchasing some from you, I'm sure.
You'll get a special deal on it. Gives you a smile. Family discount.
Oh yeah.
Anything else at the House Piazza?
Nah, not from me.
All right. Brock and Sam, anything? Okay. And
It's a shop with weapons. What do I care?
yeah, it's all garbage.
They gave me Rainbow Sword with Magic Lady.
Ren and
good.
Valette and Gilbert, what are you guys doing after you do the drop?
I'm watching their sex.
Make a wisdom perception check.
Uh-oh.
They have a very nice 6.
I'll help him with that, or he's on business.
Just him, because he said he was looking behind you guys.
12!
Okay.
Unless someone wants to give me inspiration for the 21.
Everybody got inspiration at one point. You should still
Oh,
have
that's
one.
right.
Yeah.
We got
Oh.
Don't
Alright.
you have it? Why do
Why
I have
do
to
you
give you
lie,
mine,
people?
you dick? Use your own.
That's
Yeah.
why it's called Blood in the Water. We're all gonna die.
Are you making? Are you using yours, Tim?
No, I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
I should, but
Oh,
I'm not.
that's too bad. You suddenly get surprise attacked by a black dragon and a Tarask.
The Tarrasque was behind you the whole time. You turn and you turn and you look at it, and it's like on its tippy toes. Oh. Doesn't.
That inspiration.
It's too bad. So if you guys are just wondering about eventually where are you heading, is there a goal
We'd
or
want to be in a general place where we would meet up with the others who were going stairs.
so heading over in that direction? Okay.
I would talk to Zach to Brack on the way out about Sarah's family, her relationship. That was Sarah's husband back there. He struggled for a while after her passing, but it seems that they're doing much better now. And I can
Yeah.
tell.
He's happy with her being in the sword and doing the things.
Well, I didn't want to tell him all of that. Some would, after a loved one passes, some would think that, they should be able to rest. I didn't want him to worry. He seems like he's in a good place.
Yeah, well, ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees, all that sort of stuff.
Believe it was your choice to make, dwarf brother.
Sure. I think Sarah's happy to be fulfilling some sort of purpose.
Brock, suddenly you feel like a sense of confirmation. Like there's kind of a emotional. He's right.
Is he though, John? Is he?
Yeah.
She was a fighter. She's special.
She was made a weapon. So the other three, as you guys are wandering over in that direction, not too far from you, you see a couple of gentlemen kind of standing on the street corner, kind of nodding their heads, looking around. Looks like they're kind of idly watching everything. You notice, Ren, that they have white masks on their belts, kind of tucked away to be hidden. And then as you're kind of, just passing them by, you hear kind of a scuffle and turn to look back to see three individuals with purple hoods and kind of like shark-like motifs kind of bound on them, just stabbing them and dragging them into the alleyway. Very quick,
So glad Sam's not here.
very sudden.
Yeah.
But these three individuals who are kind of like tensely kind of looking around just get murdered and dragged into the shadows. You're the only one who notices it.
We keep walking.
All right.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
Thank
way to be a
God.
good former cop.
Keyword in that phrase is
man.
former.
Former.
No offense to anybody in law enforcement out there.
Okay. Not my problem. Not...
All right.
And you guys head
Yeah.
over and see that Brox and his company will be exiting out of Sarah's shop, and you can easily reunite with them.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, and then I would say to Sam, I think that what they said about the tension with idealists might be true.
Oh, why is that?
No shit, Sherlock.
Oh, using my keen eyes to find that out.
Did you see something?
I did see a scuffle back there.
Oh, why didn't you say anything?
I didn't think it was worth our time.
Oh, was it because they were idealists?
The short-range communication device on you, Sam, starts to buzz.
Hold on a second. I've got to go and tell someone about this. Picks up.
Hey,
I'm assuming it's Winston.
Hey, boss, it's Peter. So, Winston said you were coming up this way. I assumed that was going to be in the near future, or are we talking about when you head into Spellmont, man?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you?
I give him the crossroads that we're at. Johnson and
Don't move.
other Johnson.
Don't move, but watch your shit. Okay, don't move, but watch your shit. Night sharks are hot on the streets, and they're just causing some issues, especially around Glimmermoth.
Yeah, we noticed someone already on our group already spotted that.
Move a bit north, and he gives you another cross street, which is closer to the main thoroughfare, in between Sarah's home and the Major's Tower. Somewhere open. Just get out somewhere where you can be easily seen, and there are a lot of people. Okay, boss?
Right.
Yeah, me and Winston will be there soon.
All right, so who's going with Sam?
Are you wearing your mask, Sam?
Why would I be wearing my mask right now?
I don't know.
So they can tell who you are. When the night
They
sharks
know
are looking
what
for
I
people to
look
murder.
like.
Is your mask on your belt?
It's probably in my cloak where I usually keep it. I don't advertise it.
Okay.
Sam, where?
You're just hoping that I get jumped, aren't you?
We got your back, don't worry.
Sam,
Oh.
where are we headed to?
We're going up to Crossroad and Crossroad.
Are you moving with some haste, Sam, or are you dilly-dallying?
I mean, I'm seeing if anyone wants to go, and if not, then I'm just going to start walking.
No, we can't leave him by himself. I mean, we should all go with him.
Yeah, we'll go with. I suggest maybe fanning out, not moving in a big group.
Okay. If you're moving in the direction that Sam's offering to, it will take you past Ren, where you saw that attack moments ago. And as you guys are passing by that area, Sam, you see a guy come out of the alleyway, just the same alleyway, and Ren, you'd see him too, wearing a purple hood, shark motifs, kind of steps on the corner, kind of looks around. You see him kind of wipe a spot of blood from his face, and he's kind of looking around the area with a smile on his face. Did I mention the smile on his face?
So I've just got a question, like how wide is the alleyway?
Probably about, very narrow, about 4 feet wide.
So Ren would say to Sam, if you're interested, that was the one.
So lightning bolt down the alley. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. That's dumb.
Especially this close to the Major's Tower.
I'm going to grab the wand off of Tim and.
Okay.
You're not attuned.
I know.
Especially this close to the Major's Tower.
I mean,
We want to get into
it's
power, don't we?
yeah. To be fair, we're necessarily A, out in the open, and B, we can get revenge later.
Sure.
Now's not a necessity.
If you guys,
Prevention would have been nice.
I was throwing it out there
They were
for
already stabbed.
possible revenge, but if you guys are heading towards the location, you get to a pretty open kind of area near the thoroughfare. It's basically just kind of like an open space between two buildings, probably close to right about here-ish, painted on your map there.
Hold on a second. Can you? Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. And if you head over in that direction, very quickly, you spot Winston. He kind of stands out like a sore thumb. He's kind of like doing one of these. kind of blocking the little bit of sun out of his eyes, looking around. He stops and locks in on Sam and goes, "Oh!" And then you see him and a cloaked figure kind of move over in your direction through the crowd.
What kind of cloak?
It's Peter.
Not the blue cloak. So.
They walk up on you. Boss. It's been a pretty active morning, man. Peter's kind of looking at you. You alright? You still running with this crew?
Yeah, well, you know, we've still got business with them that the head wants me to stick around with them for.
Do they know the fucked up shit that's going down right now?
I mean, I haven't gotten really much of a chance to tell them about the fucked up shit going on right now.
What's fucked up shit going on right now?
Well, there's fucked up shit going on right now.
There's real fucked up shit going on right now. Sharks are moving in on our territory. They've already taken the entirety of the H, and they've moved us all the way to the southeastern coast of Glimmermoth. It's probably not a couple more days before they take the next section. They've been making a lot of action around Glimmermoth. That's where we were hanging. Winston was keen on trying to find out what was going on with Effie's place. I don't know her, but apparently the conglomerate sealed it up. I don't know what that's about. Winston says, "I already told you, it's the elf's place." And Peter goes, "Oh," kind of looks to the elf. "You a cop?"
Was it one time?
Alright. Kind of looks back to Sam. Well, anyway. Didn't we do this before? Looks back to you again. Yeah. Weird.
Focus!
Sorry.
Focus.
Sorry. So sharks have been meting out people. Anybody that's out in the open. And there's a couple of smaller crews are trying to find anyone to link up with. And the problem is they're sticking their heads out. Sharks are biting them off. And none of the leadership's been seen since that debacle at the Cock and Thrush.
Rock wants to turn to Broxgar and say, "No, I ain't much of a city boy, but you all got sharks here?"
Brox will laugh. No, he means the Night Sharks. It's another rival gang.
Just to ask John, the Cock and Thrush, was that something that we were aware of?
That's
Try and
where
remember.
there was the marketplace underneath, and that's where Verzig appeared
Right.
and did a whole
Yeah,
bunch of shit.
okay, yeah, no. I remember.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember the name of the place, but I do remember that. Cool.
Ben is going to turn to Sam and say, "Yeah, do you think they'll all be at the council meeting?"
I mean, I'm not sure all of them will be, and I probably
No,
guess that
No.
heads aren't going to be there. They might send someone.
What? The council meeting? What are you talking about? You guys are in league with the council? Talking to the council? Are we getting attacked from two sides? What the fuck's going on? Sam? What the fuck's going on? Winston
Wait,
goes,
what do you mean? Are we getting attacked from two sides?
You said the council. The council, the gang to the west. Are they moving? Are they doing some action?
No. We're trying to organize basically a large sting against the conglomerate, like trying to get everyone involved.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
to Post Mortre
That's
about
what he was
that.
talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean like a council, not the council. Okay.
Right. Seeing about a council.
Peter goes, yeah, that fucking name for a gang is really fucking confusing. Why don't they call themselves something cool, edgy? Like, I mean, Night Sharks are better than that. Winston kind of slugs him in the shoulder. I mean, Night Sharks fucking suck, dude. Scratches his face. But yeah,
Teenage years were hard for you.
Peter says, also, it sounds like they're moving in on the wild ones too. Winston kind of very astutely states, I think they're taking back their old territory, boss. I think they're just moving in on their old ground.
Yeah, well, they've been trying to plan that for a while. It wouldn't be surprising if that's what they were doing.
And Ren and Sam, both of you can make intelligence checks to kind of think about what that might mean.
You're going to have to give me a second. My
Okay.
browser decided to crash right there and then.
If you have history trained, you can roll a history intelligence.
14.
Ren, you remember that your current office didn't used to be in Idealist territory. Idealist territory ran up to the same or thoroughfare that Sarah's home is based on. So you remember that the Idealist territory actually encompassed kind of a, or the Night Sharks territory rather, kind of encompassed this area as well around Glimmermoth.
So it used to be Night Shark territory, not Idealist.
Correct. So like that line on the south side of Glimmermoth would actually be upwards, so that it's connecting with this street here.
And I got a 15. I don't know if that gets us anything else.
Yeah, it would. It's actually the key DC. So you would also know that not only did they hold that land, or that territory, but they also held all of Stonechild Park, the main warehouses, and also the Merchants Hall, the Grand Merchants Hall. Basically, the line used to be drawn out here. It went from this road and extended all the way out to the coast. So
right.
Their territory here, the Wild Ones territory that they're working on, they've moved in from the south and are cutting in on the coast. But yeah, from here on out, boss, and I know you and your new friends are all well and good, and, you know, buddy, what have you. But I'm just gonna let you know what this is. We're staying with you, boss. We're staying with you. Sorry if you don't want us around, but
yes.
we're gonna stay with you.
No, that's fair. We can find some use for you.
Okay.
I just hope that, you know,
yeah,
some people might not necessarily be sticking around too long. He coughs and looks at Gilbert.
Make a wisdom perception check for me real quick, Sam.
So, a wisdom. So, just a straight D20 roll.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
Okay.
It's one of my good skills, guys.
Do you have any other questions for them?
Yeah, do they have their masks out somewhere that's visible?
No.
Okay, good. So they're being sensible at least.
Yeah.
Or at least Peter's being sensible and told Winston to be sensible.
Correct. Peter always seemed like kind of a rival in the group, but at this point it sounds like he's scared shitless. But yeah, the group has gone from what you can tell, 5-man to 3. So.
Right.
You know, the gnome. You know his fate, but yeah, your perception check.
I mean, I can always find that stuff out later.
Sure.
I'm not going to ask questions like that out in the open.
Fair enough. All right, then what are you guys doing past that point? What would you like to do?
How much time between now and the late afternoon when the council meeting?
Well, by this point, it's actually close to early afternoon because you traveled in mid-morning and trolleyed up about an hour to get to Spellmoth. So you spent about 2 hours traveling around. So I'd say it's like 1-ish, hour-wise.
Maybe we could stop by Greek Fest before we go to the meeting.
Get some
Get a
gyros.
falafel.
Or Euros.
Do you gnomes ever stop thinking about food?
Why? Why would we want to do that?
That's no fun.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
What is this baklava you speak of?
Oh, never mind. We'll tell you some.
Well,
other
that's
time.
like, I get to taste things. So you guys are going to head towards the council territory, and if you're doing so, are you going by Skyrail or trolley?
What do you want to do, guys?
I mean, is Gilbert going to pay for trolleys? Because some of us are extremely low on funds,
Yeah.
and by some of us I mean like me and Brock, who doesn't have any money at all.
So to get from Aldorak, or House Kurgosler effectively, to where you kind of dropped off near Ren's office, it would have cost you a total of 5 copper pieces per person. To go from the location that you're at to where you're heading, it'll cost you 1 silver piece a person. So you're looking at 12 copper pieces and 6 silver pieces.
All right, I'll cover it.
So 7 silver.
What about Winston and Peter?
Yeah, you have more people now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll cover it for just this group. I'm not bringing those guys.
They grab Sam and kind of drag him away from you, kind of pull him aside. Hey, don't go with them. If they ain't paying for us.
Yeah, Gilbert, stop being a cheap ass.
Well, why don't you pay for them then?
It's called not having money. And I literally take out my coin purse and I just hold it open upside down.
Alright. 7 silver.
I offer
and,
I offer 2 silver for Peter and Winston.
Hey, thanks.
Time is of the essence. Let's be on our way.
Okay. Someone roll.
I would like to say I lean over to Winston and I'm saying, good thing I don't actually keep my money in my coin pouch.
Someone roll a D100.
I'll roll it.
By all means.
Okay. As you guys are traveling on that way, along the trolleyway, it kind of comes to a slow as it's kind of passing over the main thoroughfare there. And when it does do that, you notice that there are a couple of idealists out on the streets. Looks like they're talking to some other individuals who appear to be gang members. Ren and Sam, you can make just an intelligence check to try and ferret out who they might be.
So, investigation.
Just intelligence.
Just intelligence.
Straight
I am rolling shit tonight. That's at 14. Hey, you got the
14.
same
I'm
thing.
rolling really
Good
well
enough.
since-
They have very similar garb and attire and styling to the lady who entered into the meeting back at Kurgazer's house 6 days or so ago, named Warrit. She was the leader of the Wild Ones.
Oh.
Do they? So is the Wild Ones and the Idealists are talking to each other?
Looks like a pack of idealists, maybe like 4 of them, and a group of Wild Ones, about 5 of them.
Do they look aggressive? Like
No. It looks like they're having like a conversation, just out on the street corner there.
Can I make out any of the words?
I'd say you're too far away to make out words from most of them. From one of them, you have a feat that does that, right? Read lips?
No, I don't
Do you-
think I do.
Okay.
That's the observant feat, I think, and I don't
Yeah.
think any of us have that.
Okay. So then, no, you wouldn't be able to make out their the mouth motions. If nothing happens at that point, the trolley continues on, and you guys head into council territory. This is about an hour and a half after that fact, so we're talking about later afternoon, probably 3-ish. And you very quickly kind of navigate. Actually, you're not from this part of the city. None of you have really come to this part of the city before. I need the more street savvy people to go ahead and make a wisdom perception check. Or a wisdom survival.
What about Urban Bounty Hunter? Is that a thing?
So Urban Bounty Hunter lets you kind of click on the feature again for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Urban cowboy.
It's more for kind of focusing in on like individuals, not so much
Okay.
finding locations. So yeah, go ahead and make the check there. Wisdom perception or wisdom survival, your choice.
Okay.
Who's included in the street savvy people?
Sam, Valette, and Ren, I would say.
All right. Wisdom perception.
25.
25.
Just straight wisdom.
You have no problems finding
14.
finding the place. When you get to it, it's a townhouse kind of style building, kind of set into an alleyway. It can't be more than 40 feet wide, this building, and it looks like the center of it kind of has a steps that goes up to about a 10-foot height off of the street. and it has like wrought iron railings that run up along the side of it. The building kind of juts out from the sides of those with little gaps in between. And at the top of the steps, there's a door with kind of like a French glass style look to it. This is the address, though. As you're kind of approaching it, you hear kind of a... And if you look up, kind of on a balcony area, standing on the rails, is a very massive, not like gargantuan or anything, but like a very large kind of bird. Looks like a parrot, except that its tail is like rainbow-colored feathers. If you've ever looked at the card art for Magic the Gathering, the Bird of Paradise, it looks like that.
Can I tap it to gain some mana?
You tap it to gain one color of your choice mana, yeah. Or any color mana, yeah. Okay.
Can I choose black?
Sure, if you're, into that kind of thing. I mean, like, if you like, necromancy and vampirism and what have you, sure. Who approaches the door?
I'll approach the door. I ain't
I was
scared.
gonna say Sam also approaches the door, because why not?
Okay. You approach the door. The door opens, and you see kind of an elderly butler gentleman kind of opening the door. When he sees you, he kind of places his hand on his face and moves it across like that. When he does so, his face changes from just an old gentleman to Bob. And he's still wearing the same clothing, this butler attire. But now that his face has changed, he kind of says, "Oh, right on time. Only Lasatu was able to make it, as she was in residence, but the others will be notified of what is exchanged here. Come." Leads you in. The house has a certain warmth to it as you enter into it. Go ahead.
I'd like to say I would probably just sort of lean back towards Winston and Peter and just tell them to like be on their toes.
Yeah, you got it. And they just stay real close to you. Winston's almost kind of like trying to stand in front of you, kind of shuffling in front of you, and you can see that Peter's kind of like got his self turned, so he's watching your back. And you enter in. The place is kind of balmy inside, whereas the temperature outside is kind of chilly, as I mentioned. It almost has like a tropical kind of feel to it within. You see that there are a lot of ferns and strange plants about, and every so often you can see what looks like a brazier, but instead of kind of emanating fire or having fire inside of it, it seems to be just kind of letting out a certain kind of mist, which kind of like ekes out onto the floor and kind of gives the entirety of the chamber like a humidity. Looking at it, it seems that whatever's in there is magical, and it's kind of causing this heated steam to kind of exit out of it, this misty water. And the gentleman, Aiden, leads you into the house a bit more, to a staircase, spiral staircase, also made out of wrought iron, and very ornately designed, and kind of starts walking up the steps with loud clanks, clink, 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 as he goes up. No one stops to investigate. There are a couple offshoots of the hallways, but if you follow him up, comes to a kind of landing at the top, and there are several doors, but one large set of double doors on the northern wall. Based on your positioning in the house and the movement that you've made through it, your presumption is the balcony that you saw outside. This probably leads to the room that the balcony is connected to. He takes his hands and slides open the doors, them being pocket doors. And when he opens it, the room inside is dimly lit, but it's well backlit from the light coming in through the windows behind everything. But there are kind of like soft, like sateen curtains hanging over the windows that kind of give everything like a frosty white light. And you can also see the bright colors of the bird outside the window, almost as if they were glowing through the window as well. Sitting in a very ornate wooden chair near that window is a woman in a red and black dress, the same A symbol that you've seen before is set upon her dress, very ornately patterned, and also a massive dragon symbol on her dress is also embroidered into it. Near her is a small table, a couple of chairs near it, and set out on the table are a series of cards that have been flipped over. A very strange-looking, large, massive deck of cards, not like a regular set of playing cards. When she kind of turns to look at you, her eyes almost glint red for just a second. Everyone notices it, but it just seems like a catch of the light, even though she's backlit by the windows behind her. And she as she turns to face you, she says, "Gilbert Kergosler, I presume?"
Yes, hello.
I'm
And
Lasatu.
you are Lasatu?
Welcome to the Dragon's
Nice to
Den.
meet you. Well, thank you. We're excited to have this meeting with you.
Of course. If you want, you can take a seat. There are a couple that are available on the sides there. Feel free to become a bit more comfortable.
Sure, I would go sit down then. Because the rest of you guys gonna sit down?
Are you sitting across from her at the small table, or are you moving to a different chair off to the sides?
I'll sit across from her.
Just
Yeah.
reading.
I'll sit on one of the side seats.
Unless, like, said, no, please sit down, Vlet will just sort of post up, like, sort of leaning against the wall near the door that we came in through.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of standing with the boys.
Okay.
Boys in the back, 11 to attack and attack.
Well, I'm not sure if they'll let me sit down.
I'm gonna sit down.
All right.
I'm gonna sit down.
So there were two seats that were across from her at the small table. Gilbert.
Nobody else is sitting next to Gilbert. I'm gonna sit next to Gilbert.
Okay.
All right.
And then Brock, you
Hey,
said
bro.
you sat off to the side, or did you say you were standing?
I am sitting.
Okay, just off to the side. Okay, you can notice that there are a lot of bookshelves that look like they've kind of been set into the walls. Just lots and lots of books, and most of them appear to have spines that are written in Draconic, from what you can tell. She looks to you, Gilbert, and places her hand on the deck. When she does so, all the cards on the table just back into the pile. And she says, "So, it's my understanding that your initiative is to bring down the conglomerate in their tower. Is that right?"
That is correct.
My messenger said that Post Motret is intent on taking all that exists within that tower. Is that right?
I believe that was correct, right? I'm gonna look over at everybody. That's correct, right? Oh, except for you, I wouldn't look at you.
I'm nodding.
Brock, you weren't
That-
there.
That is
Confirming.
what he insisted upon.
Interesting. Well, if you are intent on securing the tower, and you wish to have the assistance of the council, I only demand one article of payment.
All right. What would that be?
Inside of that tower are 12 stones, each marked with an ancient draconic rune. They have a storied history, and I want them. I know that they're within their black cells and vaults, and I would demand that they are given to me. But it is my understanding that Postmortrate is not intent on relinquishing any of the articles within. And as I can see that members of his gang are present, I would ask that one of them speak on the idealist's behalf.
Out of curiosity, John, do I recognize the description of the items that she's mentioning?
You can make an intelligence history check, but it's early high DC.
I'm not sure whether blowing inspiration on this is worth it or not.
I can tell you 20 is not going to be good enough.
Okay, it's not worth it then.
That makes you feel better about it.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be. Like, that's a 12. So again, not rolling the greatest tonight.
Yeah, runestones, they're pretty commonly like magic. Some runestones can be affixed to other magic items to grant power. Some runestones can be used as kind of charms and grant the holder or owner magic, or power, or certain augmenting effects via magic. Like some can be used as like warding implements, or sometimes runestones can serve as tablets. This hasn't come up much because we haven't really encountered it, but whereas a wizard has a spell book, sorcerers have tablets. Stone tablets with spells crafted are engraved upon them. They're slightly rarer than scrolls in that the reason why that is the case is once a tablet is read and used, it breaks, but the spell becomes permanently known by the sorcerer.
Gotcha.
Cool.
It's the only way for a sorcerer to increase their power besides growing in it naturally.
Right. So, and then she wants one of us to speak on the behalf of.
The idealist, she kind of gestures for your group.
Oh yeah, on behalf of like whether or not she can have this item or not, right?
Correct.
Right. Is anybody going to speak up or no?
We're all
gotta-
looking at Matt.
You've got to give me a second. I'm
They're
just
saying-
trying to think through.
Winston starts to step forward. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We can. I'm trying to figure out. Necessarily, do I want to screw him over that much right now? Not. I believe that can be arranged.
And who are you
Well,
to speak
this is
on?
what-
It kind of raises her hand to Gilbert. And who are you to speak on the behalf of the idealists? Your name and your title.
My name is Winston. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I say my name. You know, Sam David Southwell.
She nods her head. Very good. I suppose that will be good enough. You have the council then. I will be sure to. I will be sure to assist in every way that I can. Since this is a matter of importance to me, what is your plan for getting past their barriers?
We're still in the conceptualization stage of planning. So we have
John-
no plan yet.
Would I know anything about the barriers?
Oh, yeah. They're very powerful magical barriers that can potentially block out any kind of teleportation magic in and out, unless a specific location within is kind of keyed to. And the keying to that is near impossible, unless you actually have the key. You can't break your way into the teleportation circle on the top of the tower or inside of the other segments of it. So infiltration magically is impossible. Infiltration by magic creatures can be focused upon by the tower, and if there's a magear present in the tower, they can basically just deactivate all magic on a target. A single person within the tower at their whim is just no magic.
And so
Well,
the
we're
only
hoping
way
they-
to get rid of that is to get a key to turn off the system.
Yeah, or take over the top of the tower and stop the magear from being able to do that.
Okay.
Or there just not be a magear present in the tower.
Well, we're hoping to be invited in. Would be ideal, but we'd have to arrange for that to happen. So,
I believe
Sam's
if,
just in the back rolling his eyes.
yeah. Do you have any good ideas or any way you could offer?
Me?
Yes, sure.
I wouldn't have asked you if you had a means to do it. If I had means to do it myself, I would have taken the stones long ago. She kind of waves her hand behind her. The doors behind her kind of open up, and the bird flies in and lands on the arm of the chair. And kind of just sits there. And she strokes the back of its head.
So, what other things would you be able to offer if getting in there is not one of the things?
If you have access to the tower, and you can allow me access into the tower, me and my council, I can guarantee that any forces that you deal with will not stand for long against you.
Well, that sounds real helpful. All right, keep that in mind.
John, thinking back to when I got ferried out of the tower with Yen Lauren, did that seem like it was like a two-way street, or was that like a one-way, an emergency escape pod?
One way.
Okay.
There are no life forms on that escape pod.
Instead of a Star Destroyer, it's just a tower just standing there. So, you do not have a means of egress as of yet.
I would point out that we do have former members of the conglomerate with us, and I'm sure between that resource and our rather creative style, we'll be able to figure something out. It's only a matter of time.
Fair enough. Well, once you have that, then I'll be more interested in this plot. As for now, this was an interesting meeting, I suppose, but you've really given me a bit of remorse in my decision in electing to do this with you. I was under the assumption, on what Aiden said, that you had some means of entry into the tower. It's well known to us that the idealists have been working at finding such a means for some time. You mean to tell me that they have not found such a path?
I mean that we like to keep our secrets close to our chest.
If we're going to be working together, then secrets should not be something that we deal in.
Villette, sort of
If it
casually...
She kind of raises her hand. If it helps you in relaying your secrets, I, of course, will show you mine. She says, and she grins.
You're a dragon.
I am a dragon.
Secrets. Ow.
Secrets blown, guys!
You're a dragon. Fucking brilliant.
She looks to Braxgar like, kind of surprised. Interesting. So,
Interesting.
do you have a means of entry into the tower or not, idealist?
Villette, as she's directing Sam, sort of walks over to Brox, bends over, and whispers in his ear, what he asked us to find. Or I mentioned the hourglass.
Who? Who asked us that? Yeah, I mean, it's something you'd probably specify when you're whispering it, but who?
Kerr Gosler asked us to get the hourglass that was the Lich's phylactery. And we have the fake phylactery.
Had.
So we could use that as a means to gain an audience.
Had.
We gave
we
it to
had-
him already.
We did?
Yeah.
Did he take it? Well,
Yeah,
here's
don't you
the-
remember he took it and he disappeared?
I
Yeah.
missed that part. Oh, right. The minute he touched it, he got one boo-boo. Okay.
He went boo-boo?
Yeah. So, okay. Forget
Is
that.
anybody going to say anything to the dragon? Because I have an idea. I'm not sure it would actually...
You say something if you want to.
Just idly as you guys are talking amongst yourselves, she just starts shuffling the cards.
No, we wouldn't talk amongst ourselves. These people were just. He was
Ren is
training
gonna
them.
step up and sit beside her.
Well,
Seems like you want to teleport.
are you wanting yours, Elf? How old are you?
And I would tell her. I don't know how old I am. But
It's rude to ask that question.
Of an elf?
100 and something.
Of a lady.
Of a lady.
She shakes her head. Fair enough.
I'm 35 and have been for these past 10 years.
She looks at the first 4 cards that she flips over. You see that she's flipped over 2 of swords. Looks like a 6 of pentacles. And a queen of swords. And she kind of looks to you. Interesting. Your past seems to have something to do with this more than you know. And it would seem that someone of a nurturing nature to you might return from the past to haunt you. A short read, and more towards your fortunes. She flips over the next card and stops, places her hand over it very quickly. Make a intelligence investigation if you're trying to spot what the card was before she does so.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I do that as well since I'm at the table?
Yeah.
28. 28.
What'd you get?
16.
28.
I think I got
28 will do it. She flipped over the death card and then placed her hand over top of it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Do I know what that means?
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Seriously?
She places her hand
It
over
could mean new beginnings, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
and then just as quickly slides it back into the deck, face down. I can tell you that your fates are destined for a conclusion and termination of this point of your story. Shrugs.
You understand that our fates are bound up together?
She laughs in your face. Maybe you misapprehend me.
Silly human.
I couldn't care less about you petty mortals. All I concern myself with are those stones. And the conglomerate's magics are strong. I've been fighting them for centuries.
What of the
Well,
king?
The king? What do you want to know about the king? It was he
Where
who
is he?
gave the stones to them in the first place. Pulled from that wretched sword of his.
Interesting. Do you happen to know where he is?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you have second thoughts about, working with us, but I think you will be pleasantly surprised. For one thing, we kind of have a love-hate relationship with the new Magier. He hates us, but at the same time, I think if we wanted to, we could probably get invited right into the place, because he wants to kill us. So, and
Well, that's
we have a
if he's
love-hate
still
relationship
around.
with him.
What did you
Yeah.
say?
At this point, Sam just puts his hand in his face.
Lasatu,
in his
Lasatu looks to Valette. What did you just say?
He might be in an interesting situation.
What do you mean?
It seems there might be some infighting by his own lust for power that he's run afoul of another Magier.
You mean to tell me that the tower is currently unmanned?
It may be. Perhaps we do not know what happened to him, but
You can see her start to grit her fang down into her bottom teeth.
You mentioned
I need
which-
you to tell me for certain.
all I can tell you is that the Magier asked us to get the phylactery of a lich. That lich gave us a fake phylactery to give to him. And once we gave it to him, he teleported away. We cannot say for certain if that was falling for the Lich's trap, or if he just happened to leave our presence, satisfied with what he acquired.
I mean, he didn't give us a goodbye kiss, so I'm assuming.
Get out. I have business to deal with. If this is true, I will find out for my own, and I won't need your help with the coup.
But when you do, we will be ready to work with you.
No. You
She
don't
just said
understand.
she doesn't need our help, you moron.
If there is no Major in that tower, the tower's as good as
Right.
fallen.
I don't believe that's true. I think Valette was hoping, but I don't believe that to be true. I think you're going to need our help, and we're going to need your help. So how about we end this discussion now, and we will get back together. You could do whatever you want to do as far as looking into it.
Wait.
She holds her hands out and kind of like meditates for a second. As she does so, you start to watch the walls and everything around you warp and distort and change. You suddenly realize you're not standing where you thought you were standing. You're standing on unworked stone, high above pitch blackness, inside of this cave. And where she was standing, there's an open just pit of smoking water, and hovering above it in shadows, large draconic hands. A dragon's head peers down into the mirror, and you can see the dragon's chest. There appears to be a huge rent on its chest, and inside you can see something kind of moving around and kind of clawing out with blackened hands. And she starts to look into the mirror, this dragon. It's mine. They're mine. You've brought me great news, so I will not butcher you all here. Leave this place. The tower's mine. And she stands more fully erect, and you see her wings start to flare out. And she flies up into the sky, and the sky is pitch black, and then becomes bright light as you realize you're probably deep within the ground, and she just exited out of a hole in the earth.
So I think we should agree right now, Valette is never allowed to speak in another meeting again. Every single
Shut up, Tim.
time.
Yeah.
Do you guys? It does look like the door behind you is open.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's check that
Sam's
door.
just walking out because there's nothing left to do.
Okay.
Right.
You guys walk out the door and head down the stairs and move through the building. And Aiden or Bob kind of looks at you confused. You guys all walk out, and Peter's like, "What the fuck have you gotten us into, man? Holy shit! What the fuck was that?"
I've got a question. Are we still somewhat inside?
Kinda, yeah.
Although you have your shield thing, so... Hey, you know what? Screw it. I just punched Valette in the face.
Okay. Roll an attack roll. I'll give you advantage.
This is just going to be a pure strength roll, so there's absolutely nothing added to this, because I'm just using my
You're
fist.
not gonna hit his armor.
No proficiency. That's
that
a 3.
is so good.
No, you get her square on the chin. Like,
And I hurt my hand really bad.
it feels like you were punching a statue. As you kind of shake it off and kind of head out, you start to hear loud klaxons, the slamming of wood together, and the sounds of the air horns kind of being blown. As you guys get out, a shadow just over top of you. If you look up, you see a colossal red dragon flying overhead. And it looks like it's heading straight towards the Magier's Tower. If you move to a position where you can kind of see it, the council's territory kind of sits on a higher hill, but you watch as the red dragon slams into the top of the tower and just starts to push down on it, causing it to break in the center, and pieces start to fall about. From this vantage point, you can see all sorts of chaos happening at the base. And then you also start to see sky ships rising up from Old Rostagar and from the port district, all of them kind of moving in that direction. They all appear to be conglomerate, although some of them look like they're Rostagari Sky Navy, kind of moving in that direction. As the dragon kind of pushes the tower further down, and you see like the smoke of the dust of the stone being broken underneath its weight, she continues to descend down into the earth.
You see, this is why we don't tell psychopathic dragons information they don't need to know, like ways of getting into the tower.
I think that's going to be a dead dragon. I think the Magirs are there. There's 2 Magirs.
Sorry,
Uh,
I
Take a
did it
direct
again.
approach.
Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
try to go see if he's successful. If she's successful,
Valette,
maybe we could.
You immediately,
Pop up.
in your brain, go, the thing Gilbert said, that's not even close to accurate. The dragon wouldn't have made it that close to the tower if it was currently active, if there was a Magier in it.
Well, it seems like Kergozler's gone.
Yeah.
If he was there.
But now we have another problem.
Yeah.
We wanted to take the conglomerate out of power because they had too much power, and now we're just going to have a red dragon in the same situation.
Pretty
Let's
much,
go
yeah.
Let's go see what's happening.
All
Are
right.
are we charging towards
People
the
are-
tower?
Dying.
Yeah,
That's
let's do
what's
it.
happening. Oh my gosh.
Fuck yeah!
Let's go!
All right.
Yeah, let's go there, man. Just don't get in her way.
As you guys are
Wait,
rushing down the street,
Hold on.
Okay.
As they're rushing away, I just sort of look over and I'm just sort of like, Winston, Peter, do we have some way to at least tell someone what an idiot my group is?
no, no, boss. We,
Okay, well, I'm telling you two right now what kind of idiots my group's just. This is the second time they've done this to me.
boss, points out the tower.
I know.
No.
Fine.
No. It's not a bad thing, boss. You don't have to hide anymore. You hear the klaxons
Fair point. But still.
still going on, and yeah, you turn and you take a second to kind of like focus on the gravity of that, and you look back, and dude, this is like primary objective. Sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Tim pressed the easy button.
Yeah.
Well, you have
It's
to keep in
like-
mind, though, he might have just given, like, a dragon a bunch of power, which was something
Right.
Sam was trying to avoid, so objectively, it's still bad in Sam's mind.
Oh no!
Even if there
Make a
is
make a
benefits.
conspiracy check. Actually, sorry. That'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
intelligence arcana, please.
Woohoo! Oh, a second. I'm rolling
Fucking
really shit.
brilliant.
Like, I am just rolling the
I'll-
worst
That's
today.
so-
I'll give you
Hilarious.
one thing with that bad roll. One thing at all. So you've been kind of focusing your mind on demons a lot lately, and kind of trying to connect the dots in that regard. That wasn't just a dragon. That was Ashmedea, the demon prince of greed. You remember a story of the dragon Ashmedea fighting in the War of Sword and Serpent, and its heart being lanced out by the Saint Aberiu, who is worshipped by people as a god. When its heart was ripped out, according to occult tradition, the dragon retreated into the 13th, or one of the 13 gates, found the demon prince of greed, and used it to power itself, to replace its heart. And she also gained the seat of power for that demon prince.
I was going to say, yeah, blowing inspiration wouldn't let me get a reroll, right? That's just
No.
9. Otherwise, yeah, that's what I thought.
But you're not connecting any dots besides that, other than, wow, that's 2 demon princes we've let out into the.
Yeah.
Well, that
Oh,
one's
boy.
appeared to be free and whatnot, but yeah. The airships, as you're kind of, if you guys are still moving in that direction, are kind of migrating in that direction, and as they do, you start to have this very strange sensation, like the ground beneath you is kind of rumbling. It's kind of confusing at first, and then you realize there's a dragon in the ground, not too far up ahead as you're rushing in that direction. It's definitely going to be a long run from where you're at, an hour or so. At least. But before you get there, you do see kind of a dispensing of greenish energy kind of coming out of the hole or near where the conglomerate tower was, and then the ships kind of start drifting and slowly cascading downwards, as if they were going to kind of lower themselves to the earth. Not like they're being knocked off, like they're actually kind of descending down on purpose. All right. If you guys hoof it, trolleys don't seem to be running, so you guys are definitely trying to make your way in that direction. You can get just outside of the Magier's Tower, outside of the lake that it sits in. And it looks like someone basically took the pin of the tower and shoved it into the ground. Bits of it are all about, but it definitely looks like it kind of descended into the earth a bit. There's lots and lots of lemon caps all rushing about, trying to make sure everyone out and about and around is safe. There's a lot of conglomerate attendants and agents, very familiar faces to you, Valette, kind of looking panicked, some of them with like blood kind of trickling down their foreheads from wounds that they suffered from falling stone. And it's just a real big situation. A lot of people are, getting first aid. A couple of clerics of Averiu have actually moved out and about. More clerics of Atavius, actually. You see a young paladin kind of moving about, making sure everyone is getting assistance, kind of like with a bevy of hospitalers and the like kind of behind him, pointing them out to different directions. But it definitely looks like the aftermath of a really horrible situation, and the sky ships are kind of sitting just above basically like that smaller sky ship that you dealt with. They're just sitting like right above the building line, and people have kind of descended from them to help out.
Well, on the bright side, Valette, at least you already called for backup.
Do we see the dragon?
There may be a silver lining to a prior blunder, yes.
No, there's no dragon.
The dragon is not around.
There's no signs of it, no.
Do you guys want to see what's in the rubble?
Well, real quick, did Sam make any mention of that being the Demon Prince?
Not yet. I'm not necessarily going to bring that up in public.
Right.
Because, again, overhearing ears.
It does look like...
Plus, I don't want to freak Winston and Peter out.
It does look like a lot of the bridges are still intact, and it doesn't look like anyone's blocking anyone from entering into the scene. But to be honest, it doesn't look like a lot of people are volunteering to rush in that direction. You do see like a couple of small detachments of lemon caps crossing the bridge, but mostly to kind of recover someone they see crossing the bridge and bring them over to safety.
Do you think it would be a good idea to go and see what we can salvage?
I do.
Yeah.
We could find Kirk Osler when we went in there. And we could,
Yeah, Kirk Osler's not in there.
If he was,
Right.
the dragon would not have approached
Well,
the tower.
you would think, unless maybe he's not in power anymore.
No,
Maybe we-
he's... Why would he not be in power anymore?
Who knows? Who
Kevin,
knows?
if the Lich was there and in control, the dragon would not get any.
Who's Kevin?
Right.
Gilbert.
I know that.
Sorry.
there's magic in this world, so there is a possibility they could be there, and something got in the way of them. Maybe they got blocked somehow. I don't think it's possible, but I mean, I don't think it's probable, but it's possible. I'm just saying we should go in there. We don't know what we're gonna find. We could find anything.
I'm thinking that there's going to be some corpses. I think that's one thing we'll find.
Right? We might find somebody alive. You never know.
Are you guys approaching that direction, or are you just talking about
Blood
it?
starts taking off.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
seems like a general
left a
consensus.
while ago.
As you're approaching,
Oh.
like the throng
I'd like to say I turn on my thing if we're going that direction.
Okay. As you're approaching that direction, you kind of hear a lot of people go, "I can't believe he's here. He's going to save us from this destruction. He's so wonderful." And then other people, "Oh,
Wait, All Might is here?
close." People are like, "Oh, I can't believe he came down for us. Oh, he's so great." And then people are kind of like, it sounds like there's this just idle conversation of people saying,
It's the Great Mage here.
it's so wonderful that he's here to help us and right what's happened here. As you're
It's
kind
the
of
king.
getting closer, you
about
see that a lot of the lemon caps are kind of grouped around one individual who's kind of talking to them, and a lot of people are outside of that group who are wounded or kind of just like staring in with like this look of wonder, like wow. And as you get closer, you see an individual with red skin, wearing a bright golden crown upon his head, black
boy.
hair kind of wisping with a bit of gray in it, and he's wearing just the finest of cloaks set upon his and robes and coats. He just looks very ornate, just rings and all sorts of adornments. He just looks bejazzled. And everyone seems to be staring at him just absolutely in wonder. And upon his kind of wearing an amulet around his neck, you can see kind of like a gray circle sitting upon the amulet there, just a simple gray circle. He says, no worries. Do not attempt to enter in. This is a matter for the Grey Order. I will go in myself and deal with this matter myself. Do not worry. Starts to walk
I would like to say
that direction.
I look at Valette and just sort of go like, zip it.
And he starts to kind of walk towards the bridge, and then he turns and with a booming, like almost just a massive voice, he says, "No worries. The matter that has happened here is a matter for the Grey Order. I, Zelbor, the Great, the Magnificent, will deal with this matter myself. Do not be alarmed. This great assistants and clerics and priests will help you with your problems, and I will return to heal some more." And then he turns back to the bridge and starts to cross it by himself.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's obviously a fake.
It really is. I can't do
There
it.
is no Zeldor.
I can't do it justice.
Urban legend Zelbar.
The individual starts to pass across.
Yeah, I'm going there too.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Fine.
He
we'll
seems to be
follow.
kind of idly walking and kind of looking around, focused, like he's seeing things beyond like what would normally be seen. Before you even get too close behind him, if you're kind of moving with any sort of pace, he turns and he looks over his shoulder, just idly. Huh. Heroes, eh? I used to be like you. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure that you did, Zelbor.
You won't be of any assistance here.
That's your name.
You can turn back, but I can't stop you from moving forward. Those are the rules, he says as he continues walking, just idly, towards the devastation.
What makes you think we can't help, Red Brother?
I'm just certain that you won't be of much assistance.
Much assistance doesn't mean we won't be of any.
It's an interesting way of looking at it. Nods his head.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Then he kind of
You're
stops.
just feeding into this poor man's delusions.
Then he kind of stops for a second and looks to Valette. Huh. Interesting. And then continues walking across the bridge.
Valette like tries to catch up to him, like just get closer and looking for an opportunity to ask,
How's that
"What's interesting?"
How's that old sod doing? The one in your sword.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was always a bit cranky. Is he still cranky?
Thank you. Yes, feel free to take over at any moment. But when I get into like pointed stuff, obviously.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
He is showing me a better path to take.
Better. Good way to put it. I mean, I would have said, a less interesting way, but better works.
Always straightforward and to the point with that one. Kind of shrugs. Interesting, though. Interesting to be sure. As he kind of gets closer to it, he kind of shrugs at all the smoke and dust, which is actually kind of causing you guys a little bit of problems congestively, but it doesn't seem to phase him at all. Go ahead and make Constitution saving throws real quick for a lot of you.
Do I have to, since I technically don't have to breathe?
You don't have to breathe, you're fine.
Yes!
Do
I
what do we
really
get bonus
hope-
from you. What's the bonus from Valette if we're within
Okay.
50?
Oh, if you're within 10 feet of me, it's a +3.
Hey, John,
Hmm.
I'm going to use an actual dice for this one, seeing as the RNG God 20 have been kind of mean to me tonight.
No problem. I'm okay with that.
And before
Plus
I
3
won.
is 15.
Yep.
So that's going to be a grand total of dice just hate me tonight, period. 7.
All right.
That's a 7. Unless I could...
Fair enough.
Hold on a second. I'm
Your eyes start to water, and you kind of have a bit of a cough to yourself. When Zelbor kind of gets closer to where the tower once stood, kind of moving across a bit of rubble, he kind of stops and looks out into it. Interesting. Straight down into the hole, right to it, then. You didn't waste any time, did you? Huh. Interesting. Nayland might have issue with this matter. I have to seal it. Kind of looks back to you. Are you all going to be okay? Specifically looking at Sam. The rest of you guys are kind of like, yeah, we're fine. Fair enough. So, like I said, not too much use. And as he says that, he kind of looks down into the hole, which to you guys just looks like a hole filled with smoke and dust. He just jumps in.
No. Is he flying or floating or just falling?
You see him fall.
He doesn't have fly, please. Zelbor's just. I still have his spell sheet around here somewhere.
I believe he has feather fall.
This is an old spell sheet. No, he doesn't have Featherfall, but he has Odaluk's Resilient Spear.
That's the ticket. We'll do that one. You guys see kind of a bright blue light appear for a moment, and then you hear a pong, 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 pong.
Should we go after?
It sounded like it was a pretty far drop.
Do we have a way to go after him?
Sam
One of us could go.
can break our fall. At least he has
Yeah,
before.
I
could
actually
fly,
do
I
have
don't know.
I do have Featherfall prepared today. So if we want to, we can literally just jump right in, and I can catch us when we're.
You can catch all of us?
It's up to 6 people if I remember.
Okay, let's
correctly.
go. Frack jump.
I think he's
That's
closing
ready.
that hole
Sorry,
up.
it's up to 5 people, so one of you might have to fly, and
Oh, Frack jumped.
I mean, Sam
What?
comes after. I'm just saying that one of us might have to fly.
Alright.
While you're
I'll
discussing
fly.
that, Brack
I'll
is
fly.
falling.
Think
I
about being a travel
Brack
domain
is taking
cleric
this
with
off
that
the table.
Domain spell.
Yeah, as I said, Sam already jumped. Also, I just
Alright.
wanted to double check how many
Okay.
people I.
You guys are descending down
gonna fly.
into darkness. After a fashion, you start to see portions, twisted portions of the foundational structure of the tower. What you would presume were the black cells and the black vaults that have been kind of ripped apart. All about are open up to chests, ripped apart, places where baubles might have been, but you don't see anything kind of strewn about. Whatever came through here very quickly took everything. At the very base of it, you start to feel a pull kind of dragging you down a bit. And it definitely feels like it's tugging at your magic items, causing you to kind of hold on to them as they jingle jangle, kind of shaking about inside of their sheaths, kind of trying to escape your person. But you start to see this portal down at the bottom, and you see this sphere kind of around, just kind of disappear around Zelbor at the base, and he kind of raises his hands up. Oh, I hate doing this. It's fine. And starts casting a spell. I don't remember the components for Wish, but that's the spell he's casting.
There are no components for Wish. Wish is just verbal.
Then he says, I really wish this portal were closed. And sure enough, the portal shuts. He
Was
kind
that a
of...
portal to hell?
Because I remember Wish has pretty bad aftermath.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you wanted to cast it as a 9th level Dispel Magic, if that would work.
No, it's kind of a, demon prince affecting pull.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Shuts it, and then kind of rubs the skin underneath the crown, kind of lifting it up just a moment to do so, and setting it back down on his head. You guys land, kind of drifting down as you watch him do that, shut the spell, or no hand component, just says it, and shut the portal. And you land there, and he kind of says, it's going to be a hard climb back up. I guess I can help you in one regard. Kind of reaches into his coat, pulls out a fan, flips it open, and then drags it up like this, and this gust of wind just sends all of the dust inside of a hole straight up into the air. Might be a little bit easier to breathe on the way up. Kind of shrugs. Brave efforts, I guess. But I told you I had it under control. I guess I could take one of you back up to the top. Who's the worst climber of the lot? Kind of looks to the gnome and then looks to the wizard.
I'm flying.
Oh, looks to the wizard.
I don't need your help, person of strange personage.
Okay.
Ren would volunteer.
Sure, I'll take
Yeah.
you. Kind of looks over to Sam again as he walks over to Ren and says, "What a weird fellow."
He is
Just out of
weird.
curiosity, about how far did we fall down?
500 feet?
Okay, yeah,
Or-
that's
Long ways.
Is there any point to us investigating the wreckage while we're down here?
You
I mean,
can.
we might as well.
That's
But
my thought.
how long are you going to spend doing it before you give up? Because I'm going to let you know every single article of interest has been taken for the place. So you can just dock at the time.
Yeah.
It's a,
Uh,
it's
I
a
just wanted
demon,
to ask Zelbor questions while he was taking me up.
demon prince of greed.
Yeah, I can tell you, Andy, that's going to be a really fast trip.
Yep. Grabs a hold of you. You're at the
Purple
top.
door.
Yeah, purple door just appears around you and kind of, and then you guys are up at the top.
I just sort of.
Zelbor or Sam?
Sam, is there anyone else who needs a help up the thing? Because I'm
I'll
trying
take
to prove
it
a
if
point.
you're offering.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
cast
I need
Dimension
help.
Door 2 and follow.
Broxguard needs help.
On his,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
he
always-
needs it more than I do.
I'll grab Roxguard Dimension Door up right after Zelbor.
Can I talk? Can I ask something to Zelbor, or is he gone?
So he appears. He appears at the top with you. He dimension doored with you to the top,
Right.
and he kind of looks
And I-
down over his shoulder as you're there. A couple seconds pass. Go ahead.
Why haven't you intervened before? You're obviously.
And then the dimension door appears, and Sam appears beside you guys. And then he says,
Also, to be
"You don't know the rules."
I guess not.
Shrugs.
to be fair, Zelbor could have taken all of us up because he has teleportation.
Oh no, he wasn't going to waste a higher level spell on you guys.
I
You're just a
know.
bunch of jerks who are jumping out down a pit after him. I mean, he's willing to help with the less strong people because he's
Yeah.
been in that position.
Well, I
Climbing
mean,
up, up and down
we are
rocks.
assholes, to be sure.
Right. But climbing up and down rocks, chasing assassins. Yeah, Zelbor didn't have fun with that. But he learned his lesson. Don't chase people for no reason. It's a bad choice. He says, "You don't know the rules. That's not how the Grey Order operates. With great power comes very great responsibility."
Okay,
Can't believe
fair
I just
enough.
said that.
Do you know what? Can
Yeah.
you help us find the king? He's missing.
I don't concern myself with the problems of mortals.
Well, I think you know that as one of the sword bearers, he's got more than just.
I don't know much about what you're talking about other than those are mortals.
Yeah, after a while, everyone's just mortal.
He kind of shakes his head. I'm sure it's very important to you. I'm sure it really, really matters to you, and you think it's the only thing that matters in the world. He kind of grins. You're not even close to what matters in this place. I'm not. Closer than you, but still not that close. Have you ever seen a god enter into this place? It's because we're
What's
around.
his name?
It's because we're around to make sure that they don't. Unfortunately, today, certain powers were allowed to operate unchecked. And you got lucky. I wasn't too far away. I'd been sticking around in the city for a little while. For no reason in particular.
Playing bagpipes.
Spending a lot of time doing shows up at the what's the name of the damn Colosseum. I always forget it. It's something Latin.
Ignis Patre.
That's the one. It seems really important for you to do the things that you're doing. Kind of looks over to as you're kind of idly walking about, and the dust is cleared away a bit, and you can kind of see out and across. To those people, do you think the things that you're dealing with matter to them? I don't mean to be insulting. It's not my intent. Perspective's really important, though. Looks to Sam. Cunning little mage there. A lot of tricks. A lot of wasted effort here, though. I told you it wasn't important to follow. That said, I'm going to go and make sure that the individuals across the way are okay. What little help I can provide, I will do. Kind of looks to Valette. And you have a means of helping, I suppose?
Valette's still climbing a wall.
Oh, this is... They waited. They were talking and just sitting there waiting.
Oh, okay.
And as you're like getting up there untired, because it's not really a thing you do, but once you get up to the top and looks to you and says, I'm supposing you can help me with that?
With what?
Oh, apologies, you haven't been here the whole time. Helping the wounded across the way there.
Why certain?
That's good. Slightly.
Sweetly.
I saw Joe mouth it because I thought the same thing.
Certainly.
Lay on hands, lay on hands, lay on hands. No.
I mean, to be fair, John, Zelbor probably would just be doing healing word and playing the bagpipes as his verbal component.
Yep. And probably trying to get a lot of people around him to kind of commit to a song of rest as well. As many people as he can get influence with that. Just, idle, matters. He starts playing the bagpipes, and then after a very short fashion kind of lets the bagpipes drift on their own, and they continue playing with the same measure. So he started a pace, and then it continues the same pace. Then he pulls out a flute and kind of enters in with it as well. Kind of pulls the flute aside and kind of starts telling a story, but with like kind of a more of a sing kind of tenor to it. And it's a story some of you have probably heard before, but it seems like he's kind of directing the song and story to Valette, and basically engages in a story of how a hard-minded one, I can't sing, so I'm not going to try, came against an ancient hard thing. And when the two clashed, the one with pride was the one that fell. The one with power was the one that succeeded. The one with purpose was the one that pulled out on top. If it weren't for his friends, he would have been left in that cold, cold stone. Spends a lot of time with the, passing clerics and paladins, about an hour or so. It's getting late. It being kind of spring month, it's getting dark as well. And once he's done, he kind of, looks to the individuals from the conglomerate and navy ships who are have taken their full measure and start to pull the skyships back to their landing posts. More lemon caps have entered in by this point and are kind of taking over the, operations on the ground. And Zelbor kind of gets up after an hour or two and just starts kind of walking away, heading back north. Unless anybody wants to stop him.
Yeah.
Well, that was a shit show.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Guys.
I enjoyed it.
We got our first alive cameo from last session or from last campaign.
It's the last true click. It was mentioned idly that Zelber was doing shows up that way, but it wasn't confirmed.
It was mentioned idly, yeah.
He was an idol champion.
Of this realm.
Well, guys, I'll see you guys next week, and I'm glad Valette got to do interesting things again.
It's okay. We're actually winding down anyways. I'm assuming you guys will head back, is that right?
So
Yep.
about how many people died because of that?
You can pay
All the people died.
you can pay
How many
attention
people were in
to
that tower?
you can pay attention to reports over the next couple days and check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and call it for tonight though. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream. Thanks for watching, those that did, if anyone did. Just be careful who you're, telling things to, I guess.
Yeah.
There's
Don't tell the dragon.
the memo from this, or the motto. I don't know, my brain. Okay, see ya. Bye.